Welcome to Easy to Learn Technical Skills. Today I'd like to explain about the concept of tree traversal. Traversing a tree means visiting every node in a tree in a nonlinear data structure. So what is called as nonlinear? Nonlinear means hierarchical data structure. The data structures like a tree can be traversed in different ways. One is called as in order, the next one is pre-order, and the next one is post-order traversal. And I would like to explain these step by step in each and every traversals. So before we are going to see about the tree traversal, first you have to create the tree. The tree consists of item, and left node and the right node. So each and every time we have to create the new node, and based on the new node we are going to form the left hand side children and the right hand side children of the given node in order traversal. So in order traversal, first you have to visit the left hand side node at most, then you have to visit the root node, then you have to visit the right hand side node. So this is the principles of in-order traversal. According to this code, we have to give the entire tree as a input now. And now we are passing to the inside the function definition. The first line says that if root is equal to null. So according to the situation, the root is not null. So the root having some value. So now we are going to say that the next line will be executed. In this next line says that in-order traversals of root of left. So the control immediately transfer to the left hand side of the root. Then this is the function call. Again it will calls to the definition part. Once the definition part is coming, again it will comes to the if root is equal to null, then the conditions become fail. Again it will comes to the next part, and again the value will be forwarded to the in order traversals of struct node star root, and again it will comes to the root is equal to null. So this is not null. Again it will comes to the in order traversals of left of root. Again the value will be printed as a 6. So once the left hand side node is comes to the output, then next we are going to print the values called as the root of item. So here we are going to forward it to the root of item, and the value is called as 8. So once the left hand side is over as well as the root is over, then come to the right hand side part. In the right hand side part we have to print the value called as 9. Then once the left hand side tree is over, because the left root of left is over, then you have to print the value called as a 10, because that is called as a root node. So once you print the root node, then again come to the right hand side of the tree. So again it is a root node, then you have to check with the left root right. So the left hand side root of left is null, so we can able to return the value. Again the print comes to the next line is called as root equal to item, so we can print the value called as a 15. And then once the conditions are satisfied, then we can able to execute this line in order traversals of root of right. Control will be transferred to the next line is called as 18, and that will be forwarded to the root node and the definition part. Again finally you can get the answer is called as 18. So this is the way the in order traversal can be work. So once again I like to explain about the in order traversal. So in order traversal, first you have to focus on the left hand side node, then you have to focus on the root node, then you have to focus on the right hand side node. So first you have to focus on the left. So comes to the root. So the instruction execution starts with the root node. So this is called as the root node. Then first you have to check that whether it is a left hand side node or not. So this is not a left hand side node. Then come to the root. Then root of left you have to visit. Then this is the left hand side node. Since this is a parent node or not, you have to check that. So if it is a parent node, then come to the left hand side of the given node. So in order traversal, you have to focus on the leftmost node first. So once you reach the leftmost node, you have to print the leftmost node value. So you have to visit at the left hand side node, because this is the node does not contain any other children further. So this is called as the left hand side node. So once you satisfy the conditions of left hand side node, then only have to visit the root node. So according to this diagram, once you completed the left hand side node, then come to the root node. The root node called as 8, and then you have to check with the next statement is called as the right. So once you completed the root node instruction, then come to the right hand side. Then if the node does not contain any other further branches, and you have to print the right hand side most value. And once the left hand side tree is completed, then come to the parent node is called as the root node. So the root node value is called as a 10. So once you visited the root node, then you have to come to the right hand side. So once you come to the right hand side, then you have to check that whether it is a parent node or not. If it is a parent node, there is a left hand side node as well as the right hand side node will be there. Then come to the left hand side, there is no node, so this conditions become fail. So then you have to visit the next node. Next iteration is called as the root node. then you have to write down the answer is called as the 15. After completion of the root node, then we have alternate choices called as the right hand side node. So then we have to visit the right hand side most node and you have to print the value. So this is the way we have to execute the in-order traversal. So whenever we are going to have the tree to traverse in the in-order form, first you have to visit the leftmost node. Then once you visit the leftmost node, then only you have to visit the root node of the given subtree. So once you visit the leftmost node and as well as the root node, then you have, if any childrens may have present in the right hand side, you have to visit the right hand side node, and this is the way the in-order traversal can be work. The next concept is called as a pre-order traversal, and pre-order traversal following the principles of root, left and right. So the pre means the root will be present at the first, and once you visit all the root nodes, then only you have to visit the next leftmost node and you have to visit the rightmost node. So according to this diagram, first you have to start with the root node, and the root node you have to visit and you have to print the value like 10. So once you visit the root node, then you have to come to the left hand side according to this formula. So root, left, right. So once you visit the root node, then come to the left hand side. Again you have to check that whether it is a root node or not. If it is a root node, print the data item and the value called as 8. Then again it is a check that whether it is a root node or not. If it is a root node, come to the next left hand side. Then again you have to check that whether it is a root node or not. So this is not a root node, this is a leaf node. That means called as a leftmost node. So you have to print the value now. Now you have to print the value like a 6. So once the left hand side is over, then come to the right hand side. So if it is the right hand side, so we have to check that whether the right hand side node is a parent node or not. So if it is a parent node, write down the answer first, because we have to visit the formula root, left, right. Once you visit the root node, then come to the left hand side, and left hand side does not contain any node, so the conditions are failed. Then visit the right hand side node. The right hand side node is called as 18, and this is the way we have to do the pre-order traversal. Pre-order traversal means the formula says the root, left, right. So then once you completed the leftmost node, then come to the right hand side of the given tree, and then once the left hand side subtree is over, then only you have to visit the right hand side node, and then you have to check that whether the node is a root node of the some other node. If it is a root node, you have to visit the root node value and print the value again, and now you have to come to the left hand side, and if the left hand side node is not available, then go to the right hand side and do the same for the operation. So this is called as pre-order traversal. Pre-order traversal, so first you have to visit the root node, so this is called as a root node. So you have formula is called as root, left, right. So this is a formula we have to follow the pre-order traversal. So first you have to visit the root node, so then you have to write the answer is called as 10. Then once the conditions are satisfied, then come to the left hand side, because the next value is called as a left. Again you have to check that whether it is a root node or not. So it is a root node of the 6 and 9, and then you have to start with the formula again, root, left, right. So if it is the root node of the further nodes, then come to the answer is called as 8. And then once the root node formula is over, come to the left hand side part. Then it will comes here and you have to visit the node is called as 6, because the 6 does not contain any other left hand side and the right hand side, that is called as the left hand side node. So you have to write the answer here. After that, so then next we have to visit the right hand side node. So immediately the control transfer to the 9. So 9 is not a root node because the 9 does not contain any other children. So the 9 is our answer. So once the root node is over, left hand side is node over, then come to the right hand side, and the right hand side we have to check with this node, so whether it is a parent node or not. So if it is a parent node, that is become the root node of some other nodes. So if it is a parent, you have to write down the answer like 15, and then you have to write with the left hand side node. So if the left hand side node is not available, then only go to the right hand side node. So finally you have to write the answer is called as 18, and this is the way the pre-order traversal can be worked. The next one is called as a post-order traversal. So what is called as a post-order traversal? First you have to visit the root of left, then you have to visit the root of right, then only you have to visit the root of item, and this is the way we have to do the execution. So the formula says that left, right, root. That is a formula for post order traversal. Why? Because this is a post, because the root node will be present at the last in the formula. So that is called as the post order traversal. So in this diagram I like to explain about the post order traversal. So first you have to start with the root node, because our first formula says that root of left. Okay, so you have to visit the root node, and since this is not a left hand side node, this is called as a root node, and then come to the left hand side, and you have to check that whether it is a left hand side node or not. So this left hand side is not available, then come to the left hand side of the given tree, and here now this is called as the left hand side node, and you have to check that whether it is a root node or not. So this is not a root node, and then come to the left hand side. So now this is called as your answer. So 6 is called as your answer in the recursive function. So once you visit the left hand side node, our formula says that the next one is called as the right hand side node. So our answer is called as 9. So then, so once the left hand side node is over and the right hand side node is over, then the balance is called as a root node. So then come to the 8. So our answer is called as 8. So left hand side node is over, right hand side node is over, and the root node is also over. So once the left hand side node is over, and come to the right hand side, and you have to check that the node having any left hand side node or not. So if it is the left hand side node is available, then go to this iteration, or else then go to right hand side iteration. In the right hand side iteration, you have to visit the 18. So you have to visit the 18. So once you visit the 18, then only you have to visit the root node. The root node is called as a 15. So once the left hand side node is over and the right hand side node is also over, then only have to visit the 10, and this is called as the post order traversal. In the post order traversal, you have to visit the leftmost node first, and then once you visit the leftmost node, then only have to visit the right hand side node. So once the left node is over, right hand side node is over, then only you have to visit the root node, and this is a formula for post order traversal. Now I like to explain about the same concept with the clear diagram. Post order traversal. Post order traversal comes with the formula for left hand side, right hand side, then the root node. Once you completed the operations of left hand side node, then you have to come to the right hand side node, then only you have to visit the root node according to this diagram. So first you have to start with the first node is called as a 10. So this is not a left hand side node, why? Because this is the root node. So once it is a root node, you have to come to the left hand side of the given tree. Again you have to check that whether it is a parent node or not. If it is a parent node, then you have to check whether the parent node having any other left hand side node. So if it is the left hand side node, come to the left hand side part. So again 6 does not contain any left hand side and the right hand side. So our answer says that the left hand side node having the answer is called as 6. So once you completed this left hand side part, then only you have to visit the right hand side. So 6 having the right hand side node is called as 9. So once you visit the right hand side node, come to the next iteration is called as a root node. So root node is called as 8. So once the left hand side node is over, then come to the right hand side part. In this right hand side part of the 8 is called as 15. Again you have to check that whether the node is called as a parent node or not. If it is a parent node, then you have to check with the left hand side, right hand side, then only you have to visit the root node. So according to this diagram, so there is no left hand side node, and come to the right hand side node is called as 18. Once the iteration is over, come to the parent node is called as a 15. So once the left hand side node is over and the right hand side node is over, then only have to go with the root node is called as a 10. And this formula says that post order traversal left right root. I hope you understand the concept of in order, pre order, and post order traversal. Thank you for watching my channel. Thank you. In the forthcoming videos, I like to explain about the binary search tree concepts. Thank you.